Hello and welcome to Water Cooler Wisdom. I am Jake Blocker.
And I'm Rachael Grail.
Rachael, great to see you as per usual.
Yeah, great to see you too, Jake. I'm excited
All
to
right.
continue our new
formats.
The new formats.
It's the 4 of 4. This is the last and final of the new formats. Again, we'll see that I say that, then the next episode is something totally different. But for now, this is the 4th of 4. So this one's a little bit different than what we've done in the past. It is. So what we talked about doing was, let's talk about what's going on in the workplace and think of our personal thoughts and opinions on these and decide for ourselves, is this trend, is this thing in or out? And again, these are our own opinions. This not trying to trash anyone's views or how they live their lives. You do you. You do your authentic self. I'm all for it. It is purely our own thoughts.
This is a come as you are party.
Exactly. Anything to add there, Rachael?
No, I think this will be fun to see. I want to hear what you feel, and as we go toe to toe on things.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot we'll likely align on, but we'll see.
I know. Yeah.
All right. So the first one I have is it in or out? AI. Rachael, is it in or out?
It's in.
I feel like that was a dumb question because of course it's in. Although we listened to this 1 year later, then it's, or it's taken over the world.
I think AI is here to stay. Mm-hmm. I think the format that it takes, the way that people interact with it, the way people feel about it might change, but this is a sea change.
Yeah. It was, I recently went to a conference. Those who know HubSpot Inbound, great conference, highly recommend. Marketing conference. And it was funny. I went last year in person. Last year was when AI just kind of started out. Right. We were like, oh, ChatGPT, this is a great thing. And people were, just dabbling in. And some of the topics were about like scary, you're losing jobs, like, or assuring us we're not going to lose our jobs and how it's taking over the world and like things to be cautious of. And then flash forward to this year. And it was just kind of totally different, totally flipped it of, all right, here's how to use it to just make your job a little bit easier, a little bit better. This isn't taking your job. This is going to help you do your job even better. And even to the point where last year, again, it was funny of like, use ChatGPT to create all this different pieces of content, create a blog and create like a webinar, a million things from this one piece of content, this one prompt, to where now it's like, people can tell if something is GPT. And instead, a lot of the stuff was like, all right, how to not sound like
how to use a prompt so that people can't tell. And it's an interesting thing because I think we are not yet in a place of equalization. And I remember feeling like pretty positive about it from the jump and like, oh, this is going to revolutionize the way that we do work. And it's not necessarily going to take jobs, but it's going to change things. And I have to say I'm eating my words a little bit because I'm in California. Tech layoffs are real this year. It's hurting people. And they're not saying it's because of AI, but it, I think, is a function. And so I do believe that there will be an equalization. And I hope that like in a year from now, when I listen to this, it's going to be like, oh, artificial overlord. Like, who knows? I can't possibly begin to predict the future, but I do see in my own day-to-day the incredible power of using computational power as a resource, as a partner. I mean, this could be a big segue, but also there's an incredible environmental impact of these servers and what's happening. So I don't know. There's a lot of factors. This can of worms is open, though. I think it's here to stay.
I completely agree. I think of even just how I used Google for so much and how I was researching just basic things of in my daily life of how do I do this, or I'm having this issue, what is it, or whatever it may be. And now my nature is just go to ChatGPT, which I have on my
Mm-hmm.
phone. I have as a desktop app. I have
Yeah.
all my different GPTs that help me with various things that I do in life. And I go to it first. That's my
Yeah.
first stop, is to ask it, what is this? How do I fix this thing in my house? Whatever, all those
Oh,
questions.
yeah. I got an incredible solution for hanging curtains in a long span from ChatGPT.
I love that. I have it. I have some workouts. I have one of my workouts that's just pull up and push ups, and you have to do certain reps. And I have it count. I'm like, all right, when I'm going to do pull ups first, push ups second, and give you each number, and just
Amazing.
count for me.
Yeah.
And it's
The other
great.
day, I took a picture of my refrigerator. And maybe
Mhm.
you were the one that hit to me to this and was like, what can I make for dinner that's kind of healthy? And it's
Ugh,
like generated various recipes. So
I haven't done
there's
that yet.
all kinds of stuff that I do in a workplace setting for
Mhm.
sure.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, I do think it's like the old school Star Trek, if you ever watched that, where it's like
Hmm.
computer, da-da-da-da-da-da. And we're getting into that. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's here, and I hope we can figure out a way to power the massive energy draw of all that computation
Yeah.
without you know continuing to well. I'll just move on. I'll just move on.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about there's a lot of
There's an
implication.
environmental impact with, the amount, we're generating. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. Well, second one here.
Yeah.
This one, depends on when this episode drops, but I think it'll be timely, or maybe you'll think back to something recent. Office Christmas parties, in or out?
Oh God. I
I'm somewhere in the
mean.
middle on this. Of We're a fully remote company, so, and we're all scattered, so we don't. I think we occasionally do some meetups if
Mm-hmm,
we're in a
mm-hmm.
specific location and it's the holidays. But me being, I think I'm the only one in Colorado, really. So it's, I just have my own Christmas
Mm-hmm.
party here by myself, preferred.
That sounds like my kind of Christmas
That's the
party.
introvert's Christmas party. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're back in. I think they took a little hiatus with COVID and everything. It seems like they're back. Not just office Christmas parties, but Christmas parties in general. Now,
Yeah.
whether that's a good thing or not is a
Mm-hmm.
whole nother conversation. I mean, and that's really about your point of view, and
Mm-hmm.
probably your workplace culture, whether you
Yeah.
enjoy your office Christmas party or not. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah. If it's just feeling uncomfortable the entire time that you're there, yeah. Or like, oh God, I'm just forced to have conversations with my colleagues, which is, I mean, I like my colleagues, so I don't mind
Right.
having conversations with my colleagues. But have been in workplaces where I did not, and would find any excuse in the world to not go. Or like, oh shoot, I think I have something planned that day. I can't make it. Oh no. Yeah. But my perspective is it's so hard because I am very introverted when it comes to this
Yeah.
type of stuff.
Yeah.
And
We
my
share that
preference,
proclivity.
yeah, my preference was usually, I don't want to attend. I don't want to go. I just did my 9 to 5 with you all. I don't need to do my 5 to 10 with you all.
Yeah. 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 Oh man, office Christmas parties are it's one of those things where usually I kind of dread it. I end up having a decent time.
Yeah.
Um but there's always there's a sense of moderation that is
Hmm.
I think not
Yeah.
always at play, which can kind of be well, yeah, it's funny because everybody's there and they're trying to gauge like how much openness do I want to bring to
Hmm.
this event?
Yeah. Can you like, if you're at a friend's Christmas party, you can let your hair down a little bit
It's a
and
different experience.
be a little bit
Yeah.
more free, versus the office, which you're like, all right, I still have to come back here on Monday and
Right.
not be looked at in a certain way.
It's definitely, I've coached a lot of people and they always want to talk about the Christmas party before it happens. They're always like, how am I going to manage this? Like so it's a real thing that people
Yeah.
are trying to figure out because we have one level of presentation in our 9 to 5 and then we're expected, to be fun and be like a little bit more open, and that can be comfortable to different degrees for different people, and
Yeah.
uncomfortable to different degrees for different people. So it's a bit of a minefield, I think, for
Hmm.
people. And sometimes that pays off because you do have opportunities to have conversations that allow you to build relationships that are meaningful, that do support your work
Truly.
relationships. But boy, you got to just tread carefully. Tread
Hmm.
carefully on that one. Do not have the third drink, no matter
Yeah.
how what a good idea it seems.
It's not, it's
No, I
not, it's
mean,
not worth
again,
it.
you do you. I leave you in
Yeah.
freedom, but I'm not sure. Some people have more tolerance than I do.
It's more the advice to ourselves. Like, don't have that third drink.
Exactly.
You're
Yep.
not 22 anymore.
All right. What's next? Did we cover that
All
one, do you
right.
think?
I think so. All right. The next one is the good old hybrid workplace.
Ah, yes. I love that we can say the good old hybrid
Good
workplace.
old
Like, can
hybrid
you
workplace.
imagine 5 years ago, you would not be saying good old, but yeah, here it is.
No,
Now
also
you
like
can.
what is hybrid workplace? Yeah, I think, I think to some capacity it's here to stay. Just like remote work is going to be a part of our lives, whether you're experiencing it or not experiencing it, someone else works it.
Hmm.
And a lot of friends I have who went fully remote, like they were fully in office pre-COVID and went fully remote during COVID, of course. They would have never had the ability to even experiment that, even think of a
Right.
hybrid workplace had they not been fully remote and shown like, hey, we can do this. So I think it's kind of a staple of a workplace now. And there was the time I think our very first podcast episode was around the return to office,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and that
think it
was almost
was.
a year ago. And we saw that mandate just rolling through, people just being forced back to the office, still happening here and there. But maybe I'm out of it and just don't know. I feel like that's kind of stopping, and there's been somewhat of a compromise. All right, we'll at least do hybrid. So whatever a company policy is for that could be, Thursday, Friday is at home, the rest of the week in office, or your own schedule. And they kind of
Well,
have to do that because a lot of people do not want to go to an office full time anymore.
well, and also I think a lot of businesses don't want to say that if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, stay
Hmm.
home and don't work. It's no
Yeah.
longer, the lines are no longer black and white. And so if people are working from home when they have a little head cold, then it's hard to justify not working from home at all. So I agree with you that the hybrid workplace is here to stay. And I think we still have a little bit of work to do to, buzzword warning,
Buzzword alert.
but to optimize that. I don't think we've fully um, gotten to a place where we can have seamless collaboration, especially when there's people
Hmm.
meeting in person and like groups of people who are out of office. So different organizations have different levels of success with that,
Yeah,
but I think there's still a little bit of work to do
I
around
absolutely
that.
agree.
But I do think that people are going to keep working from home, and it's really going to continue to be beneficial both for individual workers and for companies. It's like,
Yeah,
so I think we're in it
I
to
agree. I
stay.
agree. All right, Rachel, should we do one more, or do you want to
Yeah,
hold
let's do
it?
one
Okay,
more.
one more.
Let's do one more. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do this one. This is a great one. We're a family. This is the workplace motto, or the team motto of quote unquote we're a family.
This is out.
Oh yeah, I
Out.
completely
This
agree.
is
Completely out.
just red flags.
It is. I think it's, for some, I'll give some people the benefit of the doubt here. That I think it's well intentioned. Like it's not
Totally.
meaning to say, not meaning it's not meant to be a disguise of something else, of a bad workplace. But for far too many, it is hey, we're a family, so you need to make sacrifices for your family, just like you would your actual family. when that should not be the case. That should not be how you feel when you go to the workplace.
Yeah, I think functionally, like you said, there's some really sweet intentions about it, and that they wouldn't necessarily, people don't say, oh, it's because we want you to make sacrifices. It's like it imbues a sense of loyalty and caring for the whole person more than just like what you can do for us from a productivity level. But let's be real. I mean, families are beautiful, and I'm close to my family, but families are stressful. They're not always the picture of a functional working environment.
Yeah.
Clear
No.
boundaries are challenging. It's, you may have even the most healthy family relationship, and still it's like it can be fraught with habits that don't allow for evolution and for growth. So I think that most people, when they see that, like a company advertising, we're a family, this is a part of our value set, that
Yeah.
is
So skip
not,
that one. Go
that's
somewhere
not a
else.
value add. No,
No, not at all.
it's sad because I think it really does have some beauty behind it, some sweet intentions behind it. But I think functionally it misses the mark.
I completely agree.
So
Yeah.
that's a no for me.
I don't know if there's other verbiage to replace it with necessarily. I think it's more of just showing, not using just a catchphrase to say, I respect you. How about you just respect people?
I think that's right. I think like specificity is your friend. And if it's about we're loyal to you and we want you to be loyal to us, I think there could be some
Yes.
problematic themes there. But I mean,
Absolutely.
maybe if it's like we value you as a whole person, we want to make space for the rest of your life as well. Like, then say that, just like you said, think about really what it is that you value and how that informs your business practices, and say that. The catchphrase of we're a family, it's too much interpretation. It's too, it's people are going to have different reactions to it.
Yeah. What kind of family are you talking about?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not a universal understanding or experience of family.
No, not at all. All right. Well, that was our first one of the in and out.
I love
I
it.
liked it a lot.
I think we sorted some good things out. We weren't very definitive on the Christmas parties. I got to give us, I got to call us out for that. But I mean, what are you going to do? Usually the snacks are good. At least we like that.
I'd say it's in. If I had to stake my claim, if I have to pick one or the other. For me personally, it may be out, but for the world, maybe it's in.
Yeah, we have to think of our extrovert friends. They get excited about it, right? They want to wear a cute outfit or, have some cookies. Let's be inclusive of the extroverts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was fun, Jake.
It was great. Yeah. That rounds out our new ones. And we'll come back with some more content. Looking forward to it.
See you back at the water cooler.
See ya. Thanks for listening to Water Cooler Wisdom. This podcast is brought to you by Interaction Associates, a leading professional development and leadership training organization whose mission is to help people work better together. If you'd like to learn more, visit interactionassociates.com. If you have questions, comments, or are interested in collaborating with this podcast, you can email us at watercoolerwisdom@interactionassociates.com.